Alright, round two. Let's see if it works this time, if the audio stays. I have my headphones now plugged in. I think the battery's going bad in it. So, what are we talking about today? We're going to go to the end of this. So, this file, we'll start at the beginning, is how to read input shaper graphs. It's a work in progress. Actually, I got to add this now, and I got to add StealthChanger guys. So, at the very end, this is on my GitHub. The doobly-doo GitHub will be at the bottom. So let's go to the bottom of this file. And good God, how many pages is it? I don't even know where we're at anymore. Let's just hit the page down button. Learning stuff. Okay. So this is StealthChanger, as you know, and maybe you don't know. So let's talk about the anatomy of the StealthChanger tab. So this was done by Maxis, the Maxis. I close this picture. I'm sorry, Maxis. This is your picture from the StealthChanger Discord, and the StealthChanger tab does not have a linear rail. It has. Oh, we used green since we used green last time. It has one, two, three pins. We'll label them 1, 2, and 3, and then it has two screws. We'll call them A and B. And these two screws are the same two screws on like a plastic tap R8 or any of the metal taps, any of your standard taps. They'll have these two screws. It does not have a linear rail, which does change some of the resonance, and we'll talk about that. The screws, the A and B screws, connect here. They call these, we'll call them, StealthChanger guys call them preload. Preload screws. Right, A and B, they're the preload screws. They're right here, and then here's your magnet right here, and here's this. Uh, just give us a little bit more what's going on here. This is our Y direction. If we go around the Y, we're going to get RY rotation. This is our X direction. If we go around the X, that's our RX rotation. So it's rotation about the X-axis and rotation about the Y-axis. The not having these screws appears to be able to do a little bit of both, but generally you'll probably see it in your RX rotation because the tool, I'm sorry, RY rotation, because it's going to wobble back and forth like this, bum 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 bum, because the screws aren't, the A and B preload screws are not contacting the magnets on the X carriage. This is your X carriage. So I got a little surprises in this that I was not expecting, and it's kind of goes against what we normally see in a standard tab on a V2 or Trident. And I think it has to do with the anatomy of the pins and the screws and no linear rail. So what do we see, right? Let's get to the graphs. Mr. Buttslark, lovely name, discovered that I would have called them this right here on a standard Voron, right here, this graph right here. I would have said that's racking all day long. That you're racked. But what he discovered on a StealthChanger is that that's actually the preload screws not connected to the. This should be not connected. That should be not. Can we change that? Nope. Not connected to the tap magnets. After that, he got this graph, which is a lot better. Personally, I think this graph right here is showing that his belts are too tight. The belts should be closer to over here somewhere and not way over here. But be that as it may, it still proves his point, and that all this crap was basically the tap screws, the preload screws. And then I talked with the draft shift guys more about this and how do you see this in the input shaper graphs. And this is what surprised me is that these right here, and right here are opposite than you see in the standard a non-StealthChanger Voron printer. They're saying like if we see this Y or any sort of the Z. They call it a Z hop, but basically it's a rotation about whatever axis you're seeing. So this would be a rotation about a Y-axis. What they're saying is that that's the preload screws. So that's going back to, let me see if I can pull that guy up here. We'll get these side by side. So what they're saying is, if you see this between the 75 and 100 hertz, that's on a StealthChanger, it's going to be the A and B screws. On a standard Voron, this is going to be your umbilical. This is your umbilical here. They're saying the 125, and what they're seeing is that that's the umbilical. On a standard Voron, this would be your tap. So they're flip-flopped here. This here is junk. It's optional junk, which you may or may not get. You could get a great peak like this, and then some junk, then this thing down here. They're also saying that, you know, it can. This right here is the preload screws. It's tiny. I would not, over here, if you can see the mouse, I would not touch this at all. This appears to be fine, right? All the numbers are coming in good. This right here, they're saying if you clean up the tap screws, this will clean up. So basically all of this that you see on this side is because of these screws. I can believe that. It makes perfect sense to me. But I just want to be aware that in a StealthChanger, it appears that the cause of these two frequencies has shifted. It's flip-flopped. This data was by Broncosis. And then we have more issues here, right? So we'll see it in X too. They say they see it in X. This might be one screw connecting, one screw not. So if you're seeing the Z and X, you're seeing, if we go back to the other graph, this one right here, you are seeing RX rotation because you're getting a Z. It could actually be because there's no. It could be pushing it up. It could be a true Z. So that's the pushing it upward. Because if you remember right, we are still in this. Our tool head, if we look at our tool head, right, this is what the Z, Y, and X, this is what it's reading. And if it reads a Z, right, and it's usually back here in the tool head. So let's kind of make this. Let's say that this chip is your accelerometer, and it's going to measure Y here. Did X, Y. It's going to measure Z here, and it's going to measure X here. If a true Z is going to jump up in Z, right? But you can also have rotation about the Y-axis, right? Or in this case, it'd be the RX rotation. You can get RX rotation like this that may look like Z. You can get RY rotation that may look like Z. It'll because this tool head is going to come this way and then this way. It's kind of sweep through it. So it's not a pure Y movement, right? You gotta imagine it's sweeping like this, and then this one's sweeping like this. And let's see if we can do this. Let's do better. So it's not a pure Y. It's going to be going like this. Parts are going to be moving like this, and parts are going to be moving like this. And anywhere where it's not on this line exactly is going to look like Z, right? So that's what you see here, right? It's and this is X, so this is going to be RX. It's going to be this one, and it's going this way, back and forth. And they're saying that's the tap magnets. On Y, it's the same thing. They're saying that's the tap magnets also. And then this is the umbilical at 125, which I will reiterate is different than standard tap, which this is in standard tap or standard without a non-StealthChanger Voron. This right here is going to be your umbilical, and this is going to be your tap. So it's flip-flopped. So that's the difference. I also had a picture previously. This is the N3MI's Umbilical. This is what most people use, I believe, in StealthChanger. These are TPU, which really grip onto stuff. And then this is your spring steel here. It's flat spring steel. I like it better. You can also use this with piano wire, but I like it better with spring steel because it's square and it really prevents it from going this way and this way. Um, I think I've talked this way and this way. This really, it really just wants to go in the direction of the spring steel, and it will pop back into place if it needs to. Um, I've talked about this in other videos with the StealthChanger. I really like it. I think it's a better way to go than piano wire. But yeah, so that's all I wanted to share with you guys tonight in round 2 of our video. And that crazy graphs like this, if you get this, I would just run. So if you're getting this, how are we going to troubleshoot this? Let's do that. How are we going to troubleshoot? I get this as belts. And of course, we're all going to try to adjust it. Maybe it's not. But if we get something crazy like this at belts, before we assume anything, let's run input shaper. If we get input shaper and we're seeing a Z here between 75 and 100, let's just double check those tap magnets. I forgot to mention. Butch Slark came up with a method. I think it's. I don't know why no one's thought of it before. I hadn't thought of it, and no one's told me about it till now. But he's doing the paper test. It's the standard paper test that we use for nozzles. He's doing it on the tap magnets, and to make sure that those tap magnets are secure. I hadn't thought about it. I know I've done it with adjusting regular taps. I've suggested people do that, but I haven't really thought. I mean, 2 and 2 did not make 4 in my brain, so I think it's a great idea. If we go back to the picture with this, what I would do, can we get rid of all this? Oh, it's probably going to be too much to get rid of all of it. What I would do is I would do the paper test first. If we get that kind of system, I could do the paper test first, and then I would still get a flashlight and shine a flashlight on this side, looking up at this magnet here, and see if you can get any light through, or see where it's touching. So do the paper test, get it. Hopefully you've got it nailed down, but double check with the flashlight. And you want the flashlight on the opposite side so you can see the light, if there is light between the magnet and the screw. One thing to be careful of though here is you don't want these screws pushing so far out, because if you push these screws out, you're like, oh, I don't see it. What can happen is your tool head, let's get a different color here, let's get orange. That's purple, we'll get purple. Your tool head can start being pushed out this way. That's horrible purple. We'll get a different green. Your tool head can start being pushed out this way because these screws right here are going to push this way on this magnet. I've got so much going on there that the tool head in turn is going to go this way, and you're not going to be. You may need to do that to align to pick it up, but you don't want it necessarily resting like that. You want to get them contacting or preferably flush. They may not get flush, but if you get them contacting such that you can prevent these rotations here that we're talking about. So that's just kind of what I want to share. I learned that during the week, and I thought, let's share it so everyone knows what's going on. This is already going to be on my in my GitHub. I'm going to put the link to my GitHub. I'll put the link to Draft Shift, just a general GitHub, and I'll also put the link to N3MI's Umbilical mod. And if you like what I'm doing, if you like these videos, please donate to 3D Printing Elves. We make toys for kids in the Central Valley of California. Thank you for your time. Bye.